All right, Basement Gourmet, we are back. Ventilation installed, backsplash in, and we're ready to roll. Okay, it's a cold, crappy day in Ohio, so I can't think of a better thing for a day like this than a nice bowl of New England clam chowder. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so quick look here. As you can see, it's a lot of hood. Damn near 6 foot of hood. Works great. Enables us to have everything laid out and in use at all times. And it has a lot of suction. About 1300 CFM. I'll tell you, even on low speed, it's going to be probably going to be doing some voiceovers on these videos. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so we got 2 dozen. These right here, these are called middle neck. This is all I could find here in Ohio. I'll tell you what, this time of year, getting fresh clams, good luck. Anyway, they've been sitting on ice. What we're going to do, we're going to try to get the sand out of them. They're pretty nice. Looks good. We got canned clams too, so several cans over there. I like them fresh. I'll get all these in a bowl here. What you want to do is some cold water, some cornmeal. Yeah, I don't know. They say that cornmeal kind of agitate them, kind of piss them off a little bit, and make them purge their sand. I'm going to fill that up. I'll let them sit there for an hour or so. Then we'll rinse them again for probably another hour. We'll try to get the sand out of them. Alright, those have been soaking about an hour or so. So what we're going to do, strain them off. We lost one there. A good rinse. Give another good soaking. About an hour or so. Okay, the final purging is complete. We're going to go ahead and throw these in here. A little bit of water. Throw them on some heat with the lid on them until they open up. And we'll get the meat out of them. Okay, for our ingredients, for our clam chowder, of course, we got our clams. We're getting ready to steam up here. We got 1 onion, about 2 ribs of celery, 6 slices of thick cut bacon, diced up. I got half dozen cans of chopped clams here. May not use them all. 2 things of clam juice, gold potatoes, a little butter. May not. We won't use the whole stick definitely, but might need a couple tablespoons. I got some flour, bay leaf, some thyme, last but not least, some heavy cream. Okay, so the fan was way too loud, so we're going to have to do a voiceover on these videos from here on out. So let's get those clams on some heat, put a lid on them. I'll let them simmer up for 5 to 10 minutes, or until they're open, which turned out to be 7 minutes. And they were all opened up. So we went ahead and killed the heat on them, and we'll get them strained off. And we want to try to reserve all the juice that's in that pan. So here's our clams. We're going to go ahead and pick all the meat out of them. These are pretty small clams, so I'm not even going to chop them up. I got chopped clams too, so it's going to be nice to have some big pieces and little pieces throughout the soup. As you can see, these are, they're pretty small, so it'll be nice. Some nice big chunks in there. It's going to go really good in this chowder. Okay, so after that, let's get our bacon render down. Starting off with a cold pan, real important. When you want to render the fat out of something, always start off with a cold pan. Go nice, slow, and low so we can get all that fat rendered without burning the bacon up. Yeah, about 15 minutes or so. That bacon's rendered nicely. A lot of fat in there. We're going to set that aside. And to that bacon grease, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter. Get that melted. Add in our onions and celery. And we're going to cook this nice and slow and low too, probably for about 15-20 minutes. You almost want to cook it till it's, kind of mush. We want it to kind of dissolve in the soup. Don't really want big chunks of onion and celery throughout the soup. Just want it all to kind of melt together. So if we're going to probably use about a half cup of flour, we'll have to see. Depends on how much fat you have in the pan. So we got a 4-ounce ladle here, which is a half cup. And we'll start off with probably about a 1/3 cup. Looks like about a 1/3 there. Yeah, a little less. Yeah, we'll get that in there. See how it looks. If it's still a little too loose, we can add a little more flour. Definitely don't want to add too much right from the get-go and end up with it too thick. It's looking good, but I think we ended up adding, so that pretty much made it a half cup of flour. We're going to incorporate that nicely. Cook that for, 4 minutes probably, 4 or 5 minutes. We're going to slowly incorporate the clam juice. Now this is all the juice that came from the canned clams and the juice from the clams we boiled. And we also have 2 bottles of clam juice that we're going to add too. So just slowly, little by little, add it in. Get it incorporated. You don't want to dump it all in at once. Have a mess on your hands. Just little by little. At this point, we can get it all in there. It's looking good. All right, we're going to season that up with some salt, pepper, a bay leaf, and some dry leaf thyme, and let it simmer till it gets thick as you want it, or almost as thick as you want it. At that point, we're going to add our 2 cups of potatoes. Yeah, cook that for 15 minutes or so. Add our heavy cream. At this point, it's probably getting kind of thick on you. That's what you want. Go ahead and put that bacon in. If it's not thick enough, you can always make a roux in a small pan and add some more roux to it. But we didn't need to. And the clams are the last thing you want to add. And then simmer that up for another 5 to 10 minutes, and we are good to go. All right, let's dish up some of this chowder. Oh, this is looking good. Oh, mommy. Loaded with clams. Oh, my Lord. Wish the crackers on top. Perfect. Basement Gourmet Clam Chowder.